Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can anybody hear me? Yay! Thank you, Ernie. Okay, guys, that was scary. So, I guess I didn't set up my StreamYard in time, so I have to wait 24 hours before I can use StreamYard. So, I'm like, okay, we'll do it the old fashioned way and go straight through YouTube. And then YouTube didn't want to accept my webcam. But Ernie helped me. He's awesome. I was going to turn the video part off since you guys know I don't use video. When I stop being so ugly, maybe I'll use video. Until then, it's too late at night for that. But I don't know how to turn it off, so you guys get to stare at my 80s collection of toys. All right. So tonight I'm going to keep this pretty short because I was just kind of trying to figure out how to do it and what to do. And that's really not going to do me much good anyways because I have to do it from StreamYard tomorrow night. And it's going to be a whole different process. But I'm going to go ahead and get mods. I did get a few that I knew by screen name. Mama T. Let's see. Add moderator. Okay. Who else said that they wanted to help me be a mod? E squared. Okay. Gotcha. Sarah Smiles. Of course. Gotcha, darling. Daisy Joe. Gotcha. Audrey. Okay. All right. So my channel is pretty much going to be, like I put in my description, praying for each other, giving testimonies. It's just going to be like a positive, safe place to go where we talk about good things, happy things. Because there's so much drama on YouTube. And as much as we don't want to be a part of it, we all end up getting wrapped into it because the people that we love and care about are wrapped up into it. So sometimes, people that we watch, people that we support, all day their channels will be, fighting. How do I say it? They're sticking up for themselves, fighting back against the enemy, and it has to be done, but it can get exhausting. So I kind of wanted a place that everyone could go and meet up and we could talk about just all the great things that are happening in our life, and we can help people that we care about, and just show support for one another, and spread love to each other. So that's it. I'm not gonna bog you guys down with lives every night of the week or anything, just here and there, maybe on like I don't know, maybe twice a week, like a Wednesday and a Friday or something. It's just funny because today's Thursday. But I did it today because my boys are at summer camp with church. So I was like, all right, it's a good time to start. When they get back, it's going to be crazy again. So I'll let everything settle down and then get settled back in at home. And then we'll do another. And by then, I'll be able to bring up guests and get to know everybody a little better. Yes, that is strawberry shortcake. And then on the other shelf at the top is like two of my very first Barbies I ever had when I was a little girl. And then the other shelf has got Cherry Mary muffins. Um, the little, let me see, the little redheaded one was one that I had when I was a little girl, and the blonde one is the one that my best friend who passed away had when she was a little girl. Oh, little Dave and Mom is in here. Do you want a mod too, little Dave and Mom? This is kind of scary doing this all alone. I didn't have a topic really. Oh, let's leave me. I already told you that I would make you one too. I just kind of wanted to get everything set up and kind of get started on here and figure out what to do and how to do it. Jimbo, I have cool toys. Lost a lot over the time, but I still collect, and Hunter likes collecting too. Yeah, well, my husband makes fun of me because he's like, you just want to be a little girl again. In a way, I kind of do. But when I was little, I grew up so poor. Um, the first house I remember us living in was a single wide trailer that was really broken down, and my room was like the size of a closet. It was so small, so we couldn't fit a lot. I mean, I think I had like a little toddler mattress on the floor. I had my little potty. I mean, I was little, but I remember this place because it scared me. I had nightmares living in that place. Our neighbors were crazy. It was loud all the time. We finally got out of there and we lived in this little shack. And I'm not lying, y'all. It was a shack. Okay. The old, like, it was built like in the 1800s on this old property. And it was like the wood was whitewashed on the outside of the house. And you could, like, if you were inside the house, you could see the sunlight from outside of the house through the wood, how it was built. When it was cold, it was cold. When it was hot. We had one window unit for the whole little place. It was like a 2-bedroom shack. Everything in it was so old. Like, had one of those sinks that I don't even know what they're made out of, but it was all rusted from the water running in it over the years. I actually seen one of those things on a farmhouse Facebook page, and they were wanting $1,200 for it. And they're like vintage, country sink. I hated that thing. But anyways, I lived until I was 12 in that little shack of a home. And my bedroom was so tiny. It didn't even have a door on it. We used a curtain. And if I got a toy for like my birthday or Christmas or something, I just never forgot it because we were that bad off. So those things that I did have when I was little, like, I remember them. I appreciated them. And so I just decided to give myself a little office room and have those toys again that I had when I was little, like that. And I don't know. Some people might think it's silly, but to me, it reminds me of my parents' hard work to give me what they could give me despite our struggles. Um, I'll show you guys. So that doll up there was my Sally doll. I got her when I was living in that trailer when I was like 3. My grandmother brought her down to me from Tennessee. Had her ever since. And then my little Care Bear collection up there. But yeah. I just started this like 6 months ago, putting this room together and doing this. So yeah, I was really hoping I'd be able to do my first live with some guests. and bring some people that I've met on here up to talk to them. There are so many awesome people on here. I love E Squared. She's like one of the sweetest people I've met in a very long time. Of course, I love Jimbo and Southern Girl XXU. 616 Love is like my new sister. Love her to death. Mama T seems really, really cool. Sarah Smiles, so sweet. MAGA Country, me and her share a brain. So yeah, I kind of wanted to talk to everybody, bring them up, and just say hi and thank them for being so amazing. I work at home. You guys all know what my job is. I don't get out very much unless I'm going to like a client's concert or a premiere or studio time with them or something, or traveling for them. We do meet and greets once in a while and things like that, but I don't really like all of those things. I go to support my clients, but I've got social anxiety disorder so bad. So like going to those concerts and being in those big crowds and around all those people and screaming fans and stuff is like, oh, I just can't. The whole time I'm there, I can't wait to leave. I do my job and then I get out as soon as I can, and then I come home and I lay in bed for a day and recover from the trauma of being around that many people. So YouTube is like my getaway. It helps me get through the day so I don't feel, because it's funny because you can have social anxiety, but you can still feel so lonely. So I get lonely at times at home working all day, and sometimes I work until late at night, until 2, 3 a.m. And being able to listen to, my friends on YouTube gets me through it, so it's not so boring. Hello, LaDawn. MAGA Country. Wonder if we know each other from our young ages. I don't know. Are we from the same area? I think we said before we are pretty close. But I spent my younger years in Central Florida, and then I spent most of my teen years and young 20s in North Georgia, and then came back to Florida again and been here ever since. But I'm actually talking about moving to Tennessee in a year's time. Oh, little David mom, I really haven't overcome it. I can sit on here and talk to you guys because I feel like you're my friends, and I feel like that I know a lot of you for the most part, but I still can't go out for very long around crowds and stuff for long, or speak in public. Jimbo, I was the same way when I wrestled, no lie, Buffalo. But when the lights hit me and it was time for the show, I became, well, I guess I kind of understand that because I sing in church, and I get up there and my knees are knocking. And it's like, I've known these people. I've been going to the same church for so many years, and they're like family to me. But I get up there and I'm shaky, my knees are knocking. But then as the music starts and I sing, I'm good. And then it's like as soon as it's over, my face is blood red and hot, and I'm like off the stage every time. Daisy Joe, I'm not near the ocean. I wish I was. I wish I was closer. It takes me a while to get to the beach. Hi, Ernie. Love you. Oh, Sarah Smiles, you perform at church too? My whole family does. My mom, my sister, And my grandmother did before she passed away. Our preacher kind of forces it upon us. He's like, I love hearing you sing. So he'll schedule us in, and we're like, okay. Mama T, I would love to go back to my teen years. I had a lot of fun, except I was a real rebel. I used to love to fight. I don't like it now, and I don't like to hurt people anymore. I was I was a rebel girl in my teen years too, but not a fighter. I've never been a fighter. I've only been in 2 fights my whole life, and one of them I didn't want. I had to stick it for myself. And the other one, well, I don't know what came over me that day. I was in 6th grade, and there was a girl named Robin Ola. We're friends to this day. We laugh about it, but we had this bring your mom to school day, like let your mom come in, and it's like one of those career days or something where your mom comes in and talks about what she does. My mom could not get off of work that day, so I brought a picture of her. And when it was my time to go in front of the class, I explained that she had to work and she couldn't come, and I showed a picture. And this girl, Robin, said, "Ooh, your mom's ugly." Mm. I got so mad. My anxiety was already through the roof, having to go up there and even show the picture and talk. So as soon as the bell rang, I jumped up out of my seat. I met her at her locker, and I grabbed her by the back of her head and I shoved her head into the locker. And I just kept doing it over and over again until one of the teachers came and stopped me. Her nose was running and I felt horrible, and I was crying afterwards. And yeah, that's the only time I ever started a fight. And I just don't even know what came over me, because that's so unlike me. I guess don't talk about my mama. But yeah, here is, I'm 40 years old, and so is she, and we're friends and see each other once in a while. And if it's brought up, we just laugh about it. I actually have a lot of friends still to this day that I had when I was a kid. No, Sarah, it's not me. I'm a lover. I'm not a fighter. That is for sure. But I can stand my ground if I need to. But I'll do anything to avoid actually having to fight someone. And I think it's just because I was beat up on so much, the first 16 years of my life. And I know how it felt. And I never want to do that to anyone else. Cabbage Patch Kids. Actually, I did have, I did have one baby powdered Cabbage Patch Kid when I was little. I named him Tommy. He was one of the infant Cabbage Patch Kids with the baby powder smell on his bald head. But I have not been able to find him on eBay or any antique stores. So I want him for my collection. I think he had I believe he had like a blue newborn suit on and hat, and he smelled like baby powder. But I never had any of the Rainbow Bright stuff. I know that was another big like 80s things, but I never had that. I had Popples. You guys remember Popples? Oh, Mama T's comment above. Let me find it. I spoke in public at my high school, and I was so nervous, almost puked. However, I didn't, and it was amazing. I raised 10,000 for homeless teens in our school. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Wow, I bet they haven't forgotten you. Sarah and E Squared remembers Popples. That's the next thing I need to get from my collection. I had the white Popple with the little blue cheeks, or was he blue cheeked or orange cheeked? I don't know. It was blue and orange and white. And then I had the little pink one with the purple hair. Oh, I just loved them. I don't know how many people we have in here that grew up in the 80s and early 90s, but I miss those days. Little Dave and Mom said, I love my Barbies and my Cabbage Patch Kids and Hello Kitty and my sticker collection. I loved my stickers. And I played with Barbies until I was 14, y'all. I'm not even going to lie. My dad literally had to come and take them away from me and say it's time to grow up. He did. He came in my room. He boxed up all my Barbies and all my toys and put them out in the garage. And I cried for days. I was already working at that time. And I don't know. You think that would have been enough for him because I was working a job. But nope, he wanted me fully grown. And then a couple of months after that, he came in and tore down my posters off my wall. And yeah, I didn't want to fight him there after that. Southern girls looking up Popples. Look at the mini Popples, Southern girl. Those were so adorable. MAGA country never had a Barbie. Man, I would mow yards. I would cut down people's trees, do gardening work, any little job I could find in my neighborhood to get money to buy new Barbies and Barbie clothes. My Michael Jackson married my Barbie doll. I had a wedding for them. That's funny because I think I had 2 Ken dolls to compared to the 30 Barbies that I had. And my cousin was a boy that used to come over that was my age, and he would come and bring all of his Ninja Turtles over. And so I would play with Barbies, he'd play with the Ninja Turtles, and the Ninja Turtles would marry the Barbies. I did not have the Michael Jackson Barbie. Nope, my parents were off the boat. $7. Oh wow, my daughters loved their Barbies. Molly still likes the collectible Barbies. Yeah, my daughter has a lot of the collectible Barbies that I bought her over the years. Real Gypsy Soul, paper dolls. I forgot about that, but my grandmother used to bring those down and we'd cut them out and play them and dress them up with the different outfits. Wow. Thanks for reminding me of that. I miss my grandmother. Oh, I was a girly girl, Southern girl, and until my dad came and took my stuff away, and then after that, I went full rebel. Like all of a sudden, I was tomboys that come. Which I mean, I was tomboy before, even though I played with my Barbies and stuff. I played volleyball at school. I ran track at school. I played softball. I loved sports. I loved playing different sports, and I was pretty good at it actually because I was a little lanky little thing, pretty fast on my feet. So I would be, friends with a lot of the dudes at school and do all the guy things, but then go home and be totally girly. My parents escaped communism, so my upbringing very different. I did not know that. See, that's why I like us having these conversations and not talking about anything but that's important because we kind of get to know each other. I had a truly scrumptious doll from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Now y'all know how old I really am. Yeah. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I saw that movie, but never saw any dolls from it. Do any of you guys like to go antiquing? My daughter and I, we love it. We find old towns around that's not like too much of a drive, and we go there, and then we just go to all the vintage antique stores. MAGA said they were to be executed in Austria, but they didn't because my dad spoke German. Holy cow. You have got to email me and tell me your full story, or come up on here one day and talk about it if you want to. Leslie B. I took my oldest daughter to a New Kids on the Block concert for her 12th birthday, and I had more fun than she did. She's now 31. Who was your New Kids on the Block crush? Everybody that I can remember was like Joey. Jordan was my favorite. Jimbo said antiquing and flea marketing, yard selling is so fun. I used to go yard selling with my mom and grandma a lot. We don't seem to have as many around our area as when I was younger. E squared said Jordan. Little Dave mom said Donnie. See, that's normal. Was anybody into Danny? The poor guy. I can't remember a friend that liked Danny. It was always Joey, Donnie, or Jordan. I did have the Jordan doll, E squared. I did. And my godparents, who are both passed away now, they got me a New Kids on the Block pajama set and pillowcase. And my best friend at that time that used to come over and stay the night, like we would, this is so silly, but we would sit there and talk about them, make up our fantasies about meeting them and who we would marry and all that if we met them, because, if we happened to meet the New Kids on the Block, they would want to marry us, of course, even though we were like 10 at the time, and I think they were 16, 17. But anyways, we would kiss on the pillowcase. Oh, Jimbo hates them. He hates them because he couldn't be him. Southern girl. One of the New Kids on the Block lived in my dad's building. Can't give out info here. I grew up being able to go hang out. Nuh-uh. See, if I would have known you could have took me to meet them, and then I'd be married to one. Uh-oh, Jimbo's getting triggered, and that's not supposed to happen in my safe space. Everybody show Jimbo love. I'm glad you feel better, MAGA country. We will give out info to you on Facebook, Alicia, but I grew up hanging out with one. Actually, a couple of them, because they would come over. We'll send you info. Oh my goodness. I'm so jealous right now. Hey, Ricky. I made you a mod before you even came in. Oh, there's Miss Curvy. I was going to make her a mod too. I don't care if my whole dang chat is mods. The more the merrier, I guess. Oh, girl, tell me it's not Wahlberg. See, I thought Donnie was cute, but at that time, Mark was Marky Mark, right, y'all? Because I remember having a Teen Beat magazine where Marky Mark was on the cover. And at the time, New Kids on the Block was still going. I remember in that magazine that me and my friend had, that we had made posters on our wall out of the pictures in the magazine. It had Marky Mark. It had somebody named Jeremy Jordan. Ooh, he was a cutie. Don't know what happened to him now. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. I don't remember the Funky Bunch. I remember Joey Lawrence was in that magazine. Devin Sawa. One of my childhood friends said, "Oh, in your new little girl bedroom that you have, you ought to get pictures of all of the guys that we had crushes on back then." And I'm like, no, that's a little creepy now that we're grown. Just keep that in memory. I'm not putting teen beat photos from the 80s on my wall. That's too much. Hello, Alicia and everyone. I feel like an antique around you ladies and guys, Snowflake said. I'm starting to feel like an antique. I'm only 40, but I've had this lupus, SEL, and rheumatoid arthritis now for 12 years, and yeah, it's no fun. It's breaking me down. So who am I going to have as my first guest to come up here when I get my StreamYard up? Anybody want to be my first guest? Oh, LaDon, it's fine. I mean, they told me when they diagnosed me that in 10 years I'd be in a wheelchair and I wouldn't be able to do this and that. And like I said, it's been 12 years and I'm fine. I have days where I get really fatigued and I have to lay down. I can't, be in the sun too long. And, sometimes I ache all over, but I'm nowhere near being in a wheelchair or anything yet, like what the doctor said. Yeah, I do want MAGA to come up. Definitely. Good night, Miss Curvy. Hope you feel better soon. We'll all be praying for you guys. Y'all put prayers in the chat for Miss Curvy, please. E squared, that would be great. I'll message you, E squared, and we'll kind of go over a couple of ideas of what we'll do for the first StreamYard Live when you're up. Thank you guys for all of the prayers for Miss Curvy. I know she hasn't been feeling good lately. There's a few of us out there that's not been feeling so great. I know Roger Bennett could use some prayers. Of course, we know that our E squared needs continual prayers. And there was someone else who asked me yesterday to be praying for them. They had lost a pet and was torn up, which understandable. Hey, Roger Bennett. Y'all, sometimes, well, a lot of times, losing a pet is just as bad as losing your family member. Stuff like one, oh God, I liked Kurt Russell, Beatles. I'm old school. That sounds like my mom's days, she was into Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme and listened to the Beatles. I love just sitting back and reminiscing because I don't know, y'all, but we're living in some crazy times right now. You have to avoid the news with all cost because it's just a downer every day. And I mean, I don't have to sit here. Y'all know what's going on. Oh, that's my cat wanting in. Oh, PP Pickett said Patrick Swayze. Now, I thought Patrick Swayze was pretty hot. I did. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. My husband just found out a few days ago that he sang that song. It came on the radio. I can't think of it now. And I said, "Did you know that's Patrick Swayze?" And he's like, "No, he don't sing." I'm like, "Yes, he did." The real gypsy soul. Oh my God, I am supposed to marry Jean-Claude. He just got lost on his way to the church. Southern girl, it's a he, and he just whines like that whenever he wants my attention. He's a big baby. But if I let him in, he'll be walking all over my keyboard and knocking down the webcam. Oh, now Johnny Depp from Crybaby was sexy. And I saw that movie whenever I was going through my little country rebel stage. And yeah, I don't think it was the I Had the Time of My Life song, E Squared. I think that song was from the movie that he was in, but I don't think he sung it. I don't know. The song that came on was She's Like the Wind or something like that. Yeah, Mama T got it. Yeah. And my husband argued with me until I had to Google it. And he hates it when I do that, when I prove him wrong through Google. Sometimes he'll take my phone away from me when he sees I'm going to prove him wrong. How did that song go? Uh, I just heard it a couple of days. Is that the only song that he sung that went like on the radio though? Is She's Like the Wind? Her body close to me, see the look in her eye. She's out of my league. Well, Dawn used to dream about Tony Danza. Hold me close, young Tony Danza. I used to watch him when he on Who's the Boss when I was little. Little Dave was and Mom was in love with John Bon Jovi. Oh, Jimbo, I can't right now. I was cleaning and running all over the house and I was out of breath today. But one day I'll sing with y'all. And when I say with y'all, I mean someone's gonna have to come on here and sing with me. She liked the wind in my dreams. Okay. Well, Dawn, you know what I'm talking about, right? Phoebe from Friends. Uh, we are probably boring, Jimbo. Already done left. He's like, no, I'm not going to be in here with all these women talking about their crushes. and nobody's mentioning him. I also thought Mel Gibson was so sexy in Braveheart. Oh my god, and his role in that just made him even sexier. Definitely Mel Gibson hot. Johnny Depp and Patrick Swayze. Oh, and Gerald Butler. I don't know who Gerard, or is it Gerard Butler or Gerald Butler? I don't know who that is. But I think Mel Gibson's always been sexy in just about everything that he was in. Yeah, we want to hear who the guys his crush were too. I bet Jimbo was in love with Shania Twain. Gerald Butler. Oh my god, he's sexy. We'll send it to you. Haha. I for some reason think Gerald Butler is hot and sexy. He's got the sex appeal. You're gonna have to see this feller. Gerald got really heavy in that last movie, but still handsome. Jimbo said, yeah, he loved her deeply. See, I figured so. Sarah said he bet he loved the girls from Saved by the Bell. That's true, Real Gypsy Soul. Ernie gets on and he talks about all the hot women that he's seen lately and ran into and all of that. And we had to sit him and watch him drool and drool. So it's our time to get together. And I was in head over heels in love with Brad Renfro when I was a teenager. I had probably, goodness, easily 40 posters of him. Like one wall in my bedroom, you could not see the paint through the posters I had of Brad Renfro. Sarah's Miles at the Golden Girls. Yeah, all the boys at school was all into Saved by the Bell girls and 90210 girls. Okay, let me see. Southern Girl sent me. Oh, I know who that is. He's in a lot of those man movies. Wasn't he in my husband's favorite movie? Dang, why can't I think of it? Crap. Tell me what the movie is that I'm thinking of, y'all. That this Gerald Butler's in. It's one of my husband's favorite movies. He's been in a lot of lives. There's one movie though that I know my husband's watched it over and over again. I'm like, you're never gonna get tired of this movie. It's another movie like Braveheart, where he plays like a warrior guy. If you can't think of it, I'll text my husband and say, what's your favorite movie again? And he'll tell me. Because starts with a G, I think. Why am I blinking? All right, I text him. Watch him come back with some other movie that's not even what I'm talking about, because that's what men do. Gladiator! That's it! Thank you, little David Mom. Why can't I think of Gladiator? Such a shame. But I still want to see what my husband says, just to see. Y'all ever do that, like, as moms or spouses or something? You're like, this is my kid's favorite food or whatever, and you know that it is, but then you ask that kid, like, prove it, and they're like, no, I like something that you would have never have thought of. My husband says I can't think, my brain is overloaded. He wouldn't have been help either, but it's Gladiator. LaDon, who's Robbie Benson? He just said, what is my favorite movie? So I texted him back and I said, Gladiator, dummy. I don't really care for what I call man movies, where it's always like fighting and blowing things up and cop shows and all that. I don't really get into all that. I love true crime, but I am watching that show Justified with my husband right now with Harlan, Kentucky. Wanted to see if Jimbo was on there, and it's pretty good. I like it. He said, yeah, that is my favorite movie. I just never realized that that was Gerald Butler. Oh, goodness. Jimbo, there is a guy named Jimbo on the show. It's not Gerald Butler? Oh my gosh, I'm the dummy. Why did I? Well, then what am I thinking of? Is he the guy from 300? I owe an apology to my husband. I don't like doing that, y'all. He'll throw it in my face for 2 weeks. Roger Bennett, I sure hope you get to feeling better. Okay, so he is in 300. All right, at least I got that one right. Well, who's the guy from Gladiator then? Let me look that up because I confused the two. Oh, that's like Russell Crowe or something, I think. I think I just confused the two movies and the two guys. Y'all don't tell my husband. I do know who Jason Momoa is, Mama T. And I don't think he's so sexy like so many women do. He looks like he would smell to me. I don't know. Maybe if I've seen him with a like cleaned up with a good haircut or something. I don't know about men with the long hair like that. I like guys that work out and stuff, but not with the veins all popping out and everything. Yes, he's in 300. Russell Crowe, I think, was in Gladiator. Okay. They do look alike, little David Blum. That's why it had me confused. Don't he look like he would smell Southern Girl? There's some like actors like that people think that are just so sexy that to me come off like they look like they'd have a smell to them. And when I watched The Walking Dead, I love the show The Walking Dead. I watched Fear of the Walking Dead. I watched The World Beyond when it was on. Anything Walking Dead, I love it. Um, but only thing I can think of every time they're like kissing on each other or there's a love scene or something is, oh my god, they must rank. Yeah, not me, Mama T. I don't know. Now, I did think that Antonio Sabato Jr. was hot. I don't know if he still is, but he was. Find the ugly truth with Gerald Butler, and you will laugh your butt off. It's hilarious. Okay, put that in my phone so I can check it out. I love hilarious stuff. I probably like comedy more than anything. Okay, I saved it in my phone to look it up later, Ladon. Southern Girl loves The Walking Dead. Okay, awesome. I have someone to talk to about because it's they're ending it at the end of this year. It's coming to an end. Well, at least the main Walking Dead show. I hear that they've got spin-offs coming out. Um, and Rick Grimes movies coming out. But who knows how long that's going to be. Ricky falls asleep halfway through it. Well, they walk and talk a lot, that's for sure. There's like a lot of walking and talking, and then a little bit of action here and there. But that action is so worth it. When I first started watching The Walking Dead, it seems like it's been a century ago now, but it scared me so bad I didn't think I was going to be able to watch the show. Because every time it showed the zombies' faces, I would like hide my face because I couldn't look at them. It freaked me out so bad. But then over time, I guess that just you get more used to it, and it wasn't so bad. And now it don't bother me at all. They can slice an axe through a zombie head, and I'm just like, yeah, like a man. But in the beginning, I had nightmares. My husband and I are always trying to find good shows and stuff to watch that are clean to watch around our boys. I think I'm getting a little cold. Oh, speaking of that, y'all know Brandon and Sasha that I brought on to Ernie's channel, the one that's just lost their boy back in February and they're struggling. They now have COVID. So Brandon had been doing some work for my husband, and he's been around him not knowing that he had COVID. He knows now because of his test, and he can't taste anything or smell anything. But my husband's been around him, and I hope he hasn't brought that home again because I don't have much of an immune system. But what do you mean, Southern Girl? Yes, Alicia. Oh my God, what did I say? Oh, I went on to rambling and I'm missing what you ladies are talking about. Ladon said Robert Downey Jr. has always been a crush of mine. He is hot and yummy. Yeah, I agree. Roger Bennett, I hope we don't get it either. We've already had it a couple times. The first time was horrible. My lungs ain't never been the same since. And then the time after that wasn't so bad. Um, but I heard that there's like a new variant or something that's going around that's highly contagious, but not so strong. I got to Georgia where they were filming Walking Tall. I got pics of me and my friends. I believe it was their first series. We went to that place in Georgia that films all kinds of different movies and TV shows, but at the time they were filming Vampire Diaries and the originals. And we went there and ate at that Mystic Grill and walked all around. And as we were leaving, there's a convenience store there at like the end of the fake town area. And my daughter held up the door for a guy who was walking out. And just as she looked up, she was realized that the guy was um, the guy that played Enzo on Vampire Diaries. And she screamed, like her mouth open, and she screamed so loud, like her mouth was just wide open. You could see her tonsil thing in the back of her throat just jiggling. And he hurried up and got his car and left because she probably scared him to death. But that was pretty cool. Good memory for her. Audrey's not a fan of The Walking Dead. Some people says it just bores them to death, and I don't know. I grew up with a dad that he was major conspiracy theorist, and he always believed that something like that was going to happen, and taught me my whole life how to prepare for it. So I don't know. I think it's boring as heck. I love horror movies and shows. However, those two movies suck. There's not a whole lot that comes on today that we watch in the house. Like most of the things that we watch are older stuff that came out back when things were a lot cleaner. I don't know about y'all, but well, y'all know that I'm not big into the whole cussing thing either. And I know that some people are, and it's a second language to them, and to each your own. I don't care for it too much. But one thing that really bothers me is if I'm watching something on TV and then like a sex scene or something like that comes on, and then one of my kids walk in to tell me something or whatever, and that's on the screen, and it just makes me feel dirty. I can't do it. So we try to watch stuff that's really clean. Jimbo's back. Woo! I ain't gonna keep y'all on here a whole lot longer. I didn't even realize it's been an hour. Now I see why some of y'all go for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. Because you get on here talking with people and the time goes by fast. Jimbo, I hate my own mouth sometimes. Hey, I do it too. I'm nowhere near perfect. I've gotten frustrated and mad enough. I'll tell you what, the other day when they was coming at you squared, I said a few choice words that I had to ask the Lord to forgive me for. Yeah, Roger, isn't it? Because I also, outside of my Christian beliefs, I also just don't want my kids watching anything where I feel like they're being programmed to think or believe a certain way on something. I don't like it. I want my kids to think for themselves, be open-minded, have a mind of themselves, figure out things, what they want to believe in, and I don't want them being told that this is the way things are and you believe this. Like I know TV is programming, but a lot of shows that are out today for kids, it seems like they all have agenda behind them. I just don't like it. So my kids don't really watch very much TV because of that reason. 70s and 80s best horror movies, not much gore, but a lot of suspense. Ugh, suspense movies that leave you hanging on your seat cause me anxiety. I'm just like, something just happened already. Kill them and get it over with. Can't stand waiting to find out. Yes, they do need to leave E Squared alone. I mean, I haven't been that mad in a long time. Me too, ladies. When I get mad, it comes out a lot, Alicia. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty rare for me to get that mad. But I did. Yeah, Audrey. I don't know if Maga wants to come up and tell us about her story. That would be great. I didn't know all of that stuff till tonight. But if she's not comfortable doing that, then E Squared said that she'll come up and she can talk a little bit about her journey and what she's going through. And we can all do some prayers for her and let her clarify some things. And then maybe have one other person. I'd like to do maybe 2 guests each time I do a show. And the whole purpose, like I said, of the channel is going to be people coming on and requesting prayer and telling their story. And then someone coming on and giving a testimony of how God's done something amazing in their life recently. Or it doesn't even have to be recently. If they just have a story that they want to tell of, where God did something amazing for them and give a testimony. That way the show's kind of balanced out, where we have one person, who is battling something, who needs some prayer. We'll all pray for that person, do what we can to help them. And then another person who is given an amen, a shout out to God, a testimony of something that's been done. And we kind of balance it out that way. But I just want everybody to be able to share their stories and us kind of get closer and get to know each other more, build a friendship, and build a nice prayer circle on here. It's a safe place to go and show love to one another. Roger Bennett. I had some words come out of my mouth when E Squared was talked about. I think we all did. I mean, out of everything that I've seen go on here, that made me furious. That was just too much. You think that's a great idea, little David Mom, Daisy Joe? Yeah. Y'all know I love the Lord. I do. He's done so much for me in my life, brought me through so much, and I don't think he's given a lot of praise. And we always on here requesting prayer, pray for this person, pray for that person. And that's great. We need to do that. We ought to pray for each other. But I don't see a whole lot of praising and thanking him for answering these prayers and stuff. So I want to do that. Daisy Joe said, I'll give my testimony sometime. I was into ghost hunting, movies, etc. June 19th, 2013 changed my life from demonic possession to being saved by the blood of Jesus. Amen. And Daisy Joe, yes, definitely do that, because I can tell you some stories too, girl. I know what you're talking about. Yes. Little David Mom, I'll share my story sometime. I don't want to be the first one, but pencil me in for another time. Okay. All right. Daisy Joe, though, I definitely want you to come up and talk about that, because I've had some personal things happen in my own life. And I see a lot of people on here still messing around with a lot of that stuff and thinking it's just fun and it's okay. Mm-mm. It is not. So we'll have Daisy Joe, we'll have E Squared, we'll have Little Dave and Mom. I'm sure Jimbo and Ernie will come up too. Leslie B, you don't offend me. And I don't. I mean, a good handful of friends that I've made on here that I absolutely adore, have a mouth on them, as you say. And it doesn't offend me, because my grandparents love the Lord, never was there every single time the door was open for the church. Amazing people, would do anything for anyone. And they talk like sailors, you know. And they didn't even realize it half of the time. Like you'd say, Grandpa, did you realize what you just said? I didn't say nothing wrong, but they were great people, and I don't think they were doing it to offend at all. And I know most of you guys aren't either. It's just me personally. I don't know. It's just not me. It's not who I am. That's what I should say. Great, Jimbo. That'll be awesome. Daisy Joe, demos. Oh my goodness. Demons come in various forms. They bothered me for months, but I thought I was losing my mind until one day, out of frustration, I said, Jesus, 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 and everything I had been experiencing for a month went away, and I realized what was happening. Yeah, I know what you mean, and I've heard it from several others too. I definitely would like you to come up and talk about that because people don't realize sometimes the things that you bring into your home, sometimes the things that you watch, um, sometimes the people that you bring around can bring some nasty stuff in. And if you're not, covered in the blood of Jesus and you're not wearing the full armor of God and staying alert, before long you can find yourself in a world of trouble. Southern Girl said, I unfortunately cannot share my stories and I won't. It sucks, but I cannot and I won't share them. But I have a horribly sad and crappy past, but doesn't define who I am now. I am stronger than that. Amen. That's fine. I understand if you don't want to share your story. I'm sure there's a lot that don't want to and can't for various reasons, but it's amazing that you're stronger now and it doesn't define you. Proud of you for that, girl. Leslie B said, as bad as I have to say, it's part of where I come from, and I worked with nothing but men for 12 years. No excuses, but I tried to do better. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I don't let it offend me because I know people grew up with parents that are like that. They work around people who are like, my husband, he did construction for years, and all the men that he worked with talk like that. And he picks up on it throughout the day and he comes home, and it just rolls off of his tongue because he's around it all day. And then he'll say, oh, goodness, I'm sorry, and the kids will be like, Daddy, but so I understand it. Oh, we done killed Mama T's phone. I'm telling you, I didn't mean to be on here this long. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. What time is it? 10:42. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys all coming on and showing support. I hope I wasn't boring. I didn't know what to talk about, but I just wanted to learn what I was doing here and figure it all out so that way the next time will be a good show, a decent show. That's right, Daisy Joe. That's why my description says sinners welcomed, because ain't none of us perfect. Ricky, congratulations on your first live. I'll share it and all. Thank you, Ricky. Love you too, Southern Girl. Thank you for coming. E squared. Thank you, Daisy Joe. Yeah, it was kind of fun just talking about whatever, Mama T, And I learned some stuff about some of y'all tonight that I didn't know. And that's kind of what I wanted, was to, just kind of get closer to everyone and see each other as people, see each other as real people. Thank you, Roger Bennett. Ricky said prayers and love for you all. Audrey said she enjoyed it. That's amazing. All right, y'all. I'm going to close it down. Thank you for coming. I'll check and see what's going on with everybody else's schedules because I don't want to pop up a live when someone else has got something, more important going on live. And then I'll figure out something and I'll set up another time for our next one. E squared, I'm going to reach out to you so we can set things up. Thank you, Jimbo. All right, guys, I love you all. Praying for you all, and we'll talk soon. Good night, y'all.